What's going on, folks? Dylan here from PlasmaCuttersReviews.com, and today we're going to be talking about two very popular machines and answering the question of what is the better buy, the Hobart Air Force 27i or the Hypertherm Powermax 30XP. Now, both of these machines are direct competitors of each other, and they have a lot of similarities, but we're going to talk about the similarities, the differences, and whether or not it's worth spending the extra $300 on the Hypertherm Powermax 30. So to start off, both of these machines are dual voltage, meaning they can run on 110 and 220. So you can plug them into a standard wall socket, or if you're in your shop and you have 220 available, you can plug them into 220. This makes them really nice because you can take them to a variety of places and they can be usable. Another thing these machines have in common is they do not have a built-in air compressor. So you have to connect these machines to an external air source like an air compressor or a compressed tank in order to use them. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for a machine with a built-in compressor, I'll post a link down below of another video that will help you guys out in that regard. But both of these machines do not have built-in compressors. Another thing that is in common with these machines is that they both come from reputable manufacturers. So Hobart and Hypertherm are both manufacturers that have been around for a long time, and they produce quality machines. And this is very important because I always tell a lot of people when they're in the market for either a welder or a plasma cutter, you want to make sure you're buying from a brand that has been around for a long time. And the reason is because if 5-10 years from now you need to buy replacement parts, or just in general you need to buy consumables, a lot of these, XYZ Chinese brand, some brand that you see that you never heard of, there's a very good chance that that brand's going to disappear in probably 3 to 5 years. And you're not going to have any support. You're basically going to be stuck with the machine that you can't buy parts for. So it really is worth spending the extra money to get a name brand machine, because later on, you're going to be able to buy those replacement parts and you're not going to have to buy an entirely new machine. So why not spend the money now and get a machine that you can enjoy that's higher quality, and then in the future, it will actually cost you less money because you'll be able to buy replacement parts. So Hobart's known for being a more mid-tier brand. Their machines don't have a lot of bells and whistles, but they do what they're made to do very well, and they normally come in at a price point that's a little bit cheaper than Hypertherm or Miller, okay? So they're a fantastic brand. Don't let the price fool you. Don't think that you're getting a machine that's a piece of junk. They're a good machine, and they will withstand a professional work environment. Hypertherm, on the other hand, is a Tier 1 brand. They are basically top of the line. You're getting the best machine out there. The fit and finish is going to be just a little bit better. The durability is going to be just a little bit better. Your cutting performance just a little bit better. They've kind of gone the extra step to just refine everything just a little bit more. So in result, they're both great machines. They're both going to cut well, but Hypertherm is just going to feel a little bit more premium. So if you're a professional, I would definitely spring for the Hypertherm. Another thing to consider with these machines is the duty cycle. Now, both the Hobart and the Powermax 30 have similar duty cycles, but when I explain these duty cycles to you, understand that the maximum output of the Hobart is 27 amps and the maximum output of the Hypertherm is 30 amps. So when you consider the duty cycles, the Hypertherm is technically a little bit better because it's operating at higher amps. But with that being said, on the Hobart, on 120 volts at 20 amps, you're going to have a duty cycle of 20%. And on the Powermax at 120 volts, 20 amps, you're going to have a duty cycle of 20%. Exactly the same. So we're talking 220 on the Hobart, 27 amps. You have a 35% duty cycle. On the Hypertherm at 30 amps on 220, you're talking a 35% duty cycle. So basically, the duty cycles are exactly the same, except for the Hypertherm is running at 3 amps higher. So technically, the Hypertherm is more efficient. If you're unsure what duty cycle means, it basically represents the amount of time in a 10-minute period that this machine can run. So for example, a 35% duty cycle means that it can run 3.5 minutes within a 10-minute period. And this 10-minute period is measured with an ambient air temperature of 104 degrees Fahrenheit. That's sort of the standard testing environment that they use these machines. So it basically replicates if you were outside working in a 104-degree day, how long could this machine cut in a 10-minute period? So 35%, 3.5 minutes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the differences. Now, the difference comes in the name. Powermax 30, Hobart Air Force 27i. The Powermax 30 can be turned up to 30 amps on a 220 connection, while the Hobart 27i can be turned up to 27 amps. So a difference of 3 amps at maximum output. Is that a big deal? Not really. It's not make or break, but It's just one extra little thing that the Powermax 30 has over the Hobart, right? So it's not make or break, but could be slightly noticeable when you're cutting thicker metal. You're just going to get that much better of a cut. It's going to be that much faster. It's just a little bit better. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the torch lead size and the work clamp size. On the Hobart, you're going to get 12 footers, so the 12-foot torch and work clamp, while on the Powermax 30, you're going to get 15 feet on both of those. So just a little bit longer. That allows you to walk around a little bit more without having to move your machine. So is it worth spending the extra $300 for the Powermax 30? If you have the money and it's available in your budget, yes, I think it is. Their customer support, their company in general is fantastic. They're always the leading in technology. They have a lot of really cool stuff going on there, and I just really love their company for what they stand for and the quality parts and machines that they produce, okay? They're really cool people. I love that when I call their customer support, I get an English-speaking person that's actually here in the U.S. It's so refreshing to deal with people like that, you know? So I'm a huge fan of Hypertherm. I use their machines, and I feel like I'm kind of spoiled because now that I have their machines, I don't like to go back to anything else. So I can nothing but recommend Hypertherm. If you're a professional, 100% go with the Hypertherm over the Hobart. I think it's worth it. Now, if you're on a limited budget and you're like, hey, I have $1,000 to spend on a plasma cutter, what do you recommend? I'm going to say, well, I want you to save $200 more, and I want you to buy this Air Force 27i. And the reason is because this is a fantastic machine for the price. You get a lot of functionality here, and you're saving a little bit of money. And, you know, not everybody has a big budget, you know what I mean? And not everybody's looking for that small, you know, performance increase for an extra $300. So if that's the case, go with the 27i. It is a fantastic machine. It will serve you very, very well, and it does a lot for the money, okay? So you really can't make a wrong choice here, but my general consensus here is if you're a professional, spend the extra money, get the Hypertherm Powermax 30. Or if you're someone who just is really wanting a really quality machine, spend the extra money. However, the Hobart doesn't fall too short of the 30, and for the price, if it fits your budget, you will not be disappointed. So both fantastic machines. I will post the links to these machines as well as the spec sheets for both of these machines in the video description, so you guys can check those out and you can view those resources. I hope this video helps you guys. If you have any questions about either of these machines, please post them in the comments below. As someone who reviews these machines and helps people make an educated decision, I love to know what questions you guys have so that I can answer them and better serve you and future people into making an educated decision on what machine will work best for you. So my goal is to get you guys a machine that you're going to be happy with. So please post those questions below. I appreciate y'all watching, and like I said, links in the video description. Thank you very much, and I'm excited for you guys. Your new machines are going to be awesome. You're going to really enjoy them. So enjoy, guys. Good luck.